If what's stopping you from creating things is being perfectly original, you'll probably never start. Yo, what's going on? My name is Sam. Today I'm going to talk about design and media. I've been designing a lot, and it made me really kind of try to understand where design comes from. And that's why I thought of this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about design and influence and creativity. When we think of creativity, we think that everything is born in a vacuum in your own head. But what we don't realize is that creativity stems from your thoughts and ideas of things that already exist, and the things that you consume, and the things that you see and interact with online and in real life. Those things inspire you to make certain twists and embed your own personality on things, which then becomes its own original thing. And I think I've picked up some good examples here, which kind of improve my point. So let's get into them. Across movies, shows, posters, designs that I felt that was interesting to feel was these spaghetti Western movies.
Belongs to the man with no name. This poncho belongs to the man with no name.
There you go. Heard you wanted to see me. In for the heart.
He is perhaps the most dangerous man who ever lived.
So everybody knows these spaghetti Western old 60s films, right? These films were inherently inspired by old Japanese samurai films that came up before them, such as this one. We're inspired by Japanese films like this one, where it's kind of the same tropes. Where it's kind of the same tropes. There's a rogue or Ronin samurai that's wandering by himself in a lawless land, and he's, just hacking people, and he's trying to make a name for himself or trying to survive. These two examples are actually directly related. Even the director said, yeah, Fistful of Dollars was inspired by the Yojimbo movie. So even though one film was inspired by the other, it doesn't feel like they got ripped off because it's become its own interpretation of things. It just acted as a point of influence. Next we go into music, and music's such a big part of it. Everybody's heard this song by Central C, especially the intro, the classics. Music, Central C. Everybody's heard of the classic violin in the beginning of Trojan Horse. But if you really look at where that comes from, that beginning intro is actually directly sampled from an original soundtrack from the anime Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Right? Banger track. The inspiration's there, but it's reinterpreted. Next we have another favorite thing.
Including celebrity names and music celebrity names. How do you say it? Sade.
This song by Sade. Yo, the candle is like fucking twerking. Is it distracting? Look, it's going to... Shut up. It's being weird. Sade. This song is also sampled a lot, like in...
Hey, she lie to your face, I really don't get it. She say what you want her to say.
There's also a Tupac remix of it.
I mean, wanna have this set girl with pigtails and curves.
One of my favorite types of music is music that incorporates that old samples, because sampled music is everywhere, and it's usually better off for it than just a regular original track, because it has a sense of like familiarity that we all know, and kind of elevates and adds on to the originally, like that kind of track and that tone and that kind of beat and rhythm that we're already used to. And then mixes. Honestly, mixes at the moment might be one of my favorite types of music, because basically anybody can get a song and mix it into the way they like, into the style they like. And from that perspective, I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying these UK mixes right now when I do work. And these are all UK freestyles by UK artists. and they've been remixed into EDM garage type beats, which I really mess with.
Way before I was on GQ cover. How you gonna question me about color? What you know about Nelson? Listen, no BXV when I'm the shot rock, will bleed them brown. Let's live in a beat. And still you man, I like Rodman. Big shout to my niggas in Tottenham that love me like they love gaming.
You wanna look in my profile? You're the reason I wrote this rhyme. Don't have
There's emotion in familiarity, and it kind of lets us connect deeper with music or art that we're already kind of used to experiencing, and gives us a new light and puts it in a different way. All these songs were grunge UK rap songs that were probably freestyled with like a bunch of dudes behind them, no beat. Now an artist has took these and put these with different types of music and rhythms and sounds, and have made something completely amazing and completely different. Now I want to talk about logo design. I know, and for this I want to talk about a designer that I came across that I really enjoy his work. His name is Jean-Pierre. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not going to say it, but I seen him in an interview and he does really cool work. Honestly, I don't know how to explain it, but I can just show you. He did this, which is basically a poster made from people he's seen on Google Maps. He kind of just like cropped them out, upscaled them, and that's his, he kind of has a unique style. And his style's not original. He's not like he's taking these pictures or he's, you know, drawing these out. He's finding these pictures online, but he's repurposing them into something new and creative from which he originates and which he derives his creativity from. These are my favorite ones. He does these TSA scan boxes things, which is really cool. And honestly, these are all actually DJ posters. So all these posters here are actually artists, and he's promoting, I think he's promoting like a club or something, which is insane to think about. But these are cool as hell. And he has a lot more. Here he has the same thing with like a heat scanner. This one, he just used stock images. But again, he didn't take these pictures, he didn't make these pictures, but he's using inspiration from things he's seen. And then I want to talk about this, One Piece. One Piece is my favorite anime and arguably the greatest written storytelling in fiction ever. The author has been writing it for 20 years. And I think, look, I'm reading this off. They've sold 560 million copies of One Piece worldwide. The highest is Harry Potter books, which is 600 million. So it's only 40 million behind that. So that's just something to think about. And even this, the author was inspired by the anime he used to watch when he was little, which had very similar tropes. Here's a Reddit post about it. This is kind of spoilers, but whatever. There's very similar tropes, very similar story ideas, plots. And looks like it was heavily inspired. Oda's been writing this for 20 years. And just to say, oh, this is not valid, or it shouldn't be understood, or it shouldn't have existed just because he gained influence. And yes, he may have copied some things. To say that without that, there's still 20 years of work she put on, but he based the inspiration on it. So what am I trying to say in terms of design and creativity? Originality isn't really the idea. The creativity lies in the execution, not the idea. It is in the execution in where your creativity thrives. And I used to be like that too. I used to think, yo, every idea I come up with has to be original, or I'm just stealing, I'm just copying. I can't use any point of reference. But as I'm starting to learn, nothing is original. If stealing, I shouldn't say stealing. If getting influence from an original work is wrong, original work, then I would say all your favorite artists are guilty. All right, so that pretty much wraps up the video. I made this video and I was inspired to make this video because I was designing a lot for After School Club. I got some new samples in. I'm actually getting a sample made, exploring an option with like on the vintage side and reworking side of things. I'm also doing other things, and honestly, I'm just taking my time with it. It's gonna come at the expense of other things. I did start my other brand again. We're working again to making more clothes and restocking, so I'm still doing that. Or I hope you guys at least learned something. Maybe one of the examples I talked about will stick with you in your future. And then when you go create something or try to work on something, it will give you the right timed motivation to make some good work.